Good evening, my friend. I'm Sanjiv. And tonight, I invite you to leave the busy world behind. There is nothing you need to do. Nowhere you need to be. No problems to solve. The day is over now. This is your time to rest. So settle comfortably beneath your blankets. Allow your shoulders to soften. Relax your jaw. And take one slow, gentle breath in. And out. Very good. Tonight's story takes us to the rugged coastline of Maine during the winter of 1978. A place where snowy cliffs overlook the Atlantic Ocean. Where fishing boats rest quietly in frozen harbors. And where a lonely lighthouse shines faithfully through the darkness. Far away from crowded cities. Far away from traffic and noise. There stands a white lighthouse on a rocky point beside the sea. And tonight, you are there. The air outside is cold. Fresh snow covers the ground. The ocean stretches endlessly beneath the stars. And above everything, the winter sky glows with thousands of distant lights. Inside the lighthouse keeper's cottage, a fire crackles softly inside a stone fireplace. Warm golden light fills the room. A kettle hums quietly on the stove. And beside the window sits a man named Benjamin Hale. Benjamin has spent nearly 30 years caring for the lighthouse. Every evening follows the same peaceful routine. As the sun disappears beyond the horizon, he climbs the spiral staircase to the lantern room. There, he lights the great beacon. Slowly, the powerful beam begins turning across the dark ocean. Steady, reliable, calm. The lighthouse has guided sailors safely home for generations. And tonight is no different. Benjamin watches the beam sweep across the sea one time. Then another. Then another. Satisfied everything is working perfectly, he returns to the cottage below. Outside, snowflakes drift through the night air. The harbor sleeps peacefully. Fishing boats sway gently at their moorings. And far away, a foghorn echoes softly across the water. Benjamin pours himself a cup of tea. The steam rises slowly into the warm room. He settles into his favorite chair beside the window. From here, he can see the entire harbor. The lighthouse. The ocean. And the sleepy little town beyond. Everything looks peaceful tonight. The snow seems to absorb every sound. Even the waves feel quieter somehow. For a while, Benjamin simply watches. Listening to the fire. Listening to the ocean. Listening to the stillness. Then his eyes drift toward an old leather journal resting on a nearby shelf. The journal has traveled with him for many years. Inside are stories. Memories. Small moments collected during long winters beside the sea. Benjamin opens the worn cover carefully. The pages smell faintly of old paper and cedar wood. He turns slowly through them, eventually stopping on a chapter titled, "The Harbor Beneath the Snow." The story begins many winters earlier, long before modern fishing boats arrived. Back when the harbor moved at a slower pace. During those days, most fishermen left before sunrise and returned after dark. Their boats were smaller, their journeys longer, and life felt wonderfully simple. One particular winter evening, snow began falling just before sunset. At first only a few flakes drifted through the air. But by nightfall, the entire harbor lay beneath a blanket of white. The docks disappeared beneath snow. The rooftops turned white. Even the fishing boats looked like sleeping sculptures resting quietly upon the water. A young fisherman named Thomas Walker stood beside the harbor watching the snowfall. Thomas loved nights like these. The world seemed quieter, gentler, more peaceful. He pulled his coat tighter against the cold and walked slowly along the empty docks. No voices echoed through the town. No engines disturbed the silence. Only the soft sound of waves brushing against wooden pilings, and the distant beam of the lighthouse sweeping across the darkness. Thomas paused beside the end of the pier. The ocean stretched endlessly before him. Snow drifted softly around him. Above, the clouds slowly began to part. One by one, stars appeared overhead. Thousands of them. Bright, clear, endless. For a long time, Thomas simply stood there, breathing slowly, watching the sea, listening to the quiet rhythm of the harbor. Later, he would describe it as one of the most peaceful moments of his life. Not because anything exciting happened. Nothing happened at all. And that was exactly what made it special. Sometimes, peace comes when the world finally becomes quiet enough for us to notice it. Back in the lighthouse cottage, Benjamin smiles softly as he reads. Outside, the snowfall continues. The lighthouse beam turns steadily through the darkness, and the harbor remains calm beneath the winter sky. The fire crackles gently. The tea remains warm. The room feels wonderfully cozy. Benjamin turns another page. The next story tells of an old bakery that once stood near the waterfront. Every winter morning before dawn, the baker would light his ovens. Warm smells of bread and cinnamon would drift through the snowy streets. Fishermen heading toward the docks often stopped there before work. Not because they were hungry, but because the bakery felt welcoming, safe, comfortable. During storms, people gathered inside and shared stories while snow covered the town outside. The windows glowed warmly. The ovens hummed softly. And for a little while, everyone forgot about the cold beyond the door. Benjamin remembers visiting that bakery many years ago. The smell of fresh bread, the warmth, the laughter. Small moments that somehow remain with us forever. Outside the cottage window, the storm begins easing. The snowfall grows lighter. The clouds slowly thin overhead. and moonlight begins shining across the harbor. The ocean now glows silver beneath the night sky. The fishing boats cast long reflections upon the water. Everything feels dreamlike. Benjamin closes the journal for a moment. He leans back comfortably in his chair. The warmth of the fire feels wonderful. The ocean continues its slow rhythm beyond the window. And somewhere far away, the long winter night continues peacefully along the coast of Maine. Outside the lighthouse, the snowfall has almost stopped now. Only a few flakes drift lazily through the cold night air. The harbor below remains silent beneath fresh snow. Fishing boats rest quietly against their moorings. Their reflections shimmer gently upon the dark water. Inside the lighthouse cottage, the fire continues burning softly. Warm orange light flickers across the wooden walls. The kettle hums quietly on the stove. And Benjamin remains seated beside the window. The old journal rests open on his lap. Outside, the lighthouse beam sweeps steadily across the ocean. Again. And again. And again. Reliable. Calm. Endless. Benjamin turns another page. This story is titled The Winter Mail Boat. Many years ago, before modern roads connected the small coastal towns, a little boat carried mail between villages scattered along the shoreline. Every week, regardless of weather, the mail boat traveled from harbor to harbor delivering letters. Its captain was a cheerful man named Edward Collins. Edward knew every lighthouse, every rocky island, every fishing village, every hidden cove along the coast. One winter evening, a snowstorm arrived while Edward was returning home. The ocean remained calm, but thick snow covered the sky. Visibility grew worse with every passing hour. Soon, the shoreline disappeared completely. The harbor lights vanished, and only darkness surrounded the little vessel. But far away, through the snowfall, Edward spotted a familiar light. The lighthouse. Steady. Bright. Faithful. The beam swept slowly through the storm, guiding him home. Later, Edward often said the lighthouse felt less like a building, and more like an old friend waiting patiently in the darkness. Benjamin smiles softly while reading those words. Outside, the same lighthouse still shines tonight. The same beam still protects sailors. The same light still watches over the sea. Some things change very slowly, and perhaps that is comforting. The clock on the wall ticks quietly. The fire settles lower. The harbor remains peaceful. Eventually, Benjamin stands and puts on a thick wool coat. Tonight feels too beautiful to stay indoors. He opens the cottage door. Cold winter air greets him immediately. Fresh. Clean. Peaceful. Snow crunches softly beneath his boots. Above him, thousands of stars fill the sky. Without city lights, the heavens seem endless. Bright rivers of stars stretch across the darkness from horizon to horizon. Benjamin begins walking slowly toward the harbor. The town sleeps peacefully beneath fresh snow. Small houses line the narrow streets. Warm yellow light glows from a few windows. Smoke rises lazily from stone chimneys. Everything feels calm, still, safe. As he walks, he passes the old bakery from the journal story. Though many years have passed, the building still stands. The windows are dark now. The oven's cold. Yet somehow the place still feels welcoming. Benjamin pauses for a moment, remembering winter mornings long ago. Fresh bread, warm coffee, friendly conversations. Simple moments that became treasured memories. He continues walking. Soon he reaches the harbor. The docks are empty. No voices. No engines. No activity. Only the gentle sound of water moving beneath the wooden piers. The ocean breathes softly against the shore. Slow. Steady. Relaxing. Benjamin walks to the end of a snow-covered dock. The sea stretches endlessly before him. Moonlight sparkles across the water. The lighthouse beam sweeps quietly overhead. For several minutes, he simply stands there, listening, breathing, watching. The world feels wonderfully unhurried. No schedules. No deadlines. No distractions. Only this moment. Only the night. Only the sea. Far beyond the harbor, a fishing vessel moves slowly across the horizon. Its tiny lights glow warmly against the darkness. Benjamin watches until it disappears, then turns toward home once more. The snow-covered town remains silent. The stars continue shining overhead. And somewhere far out at sea, the lighthouse continues its endless work. Back inside the cottage, warmth surrounds him again. The fire crackles softly. The kettle whistles gently. Everything feels comfortable, cozy, sleepy. Benjamin pours one final cup of tea, then settles beside the window once more. The night is now deep and quiet. Most of the world sleeps. The harbor sleeps. The town sleeps. Even the ocean seems drowsy beneath the stars. Benjamin opens the journal one last time. Near the very end, he finds a short note written many years earlier. The handwriting is faded now, but still clear enough to read. It says, "Peace is not something we find far away. Sometimes it is already here, waiting quietly beside us. Like the sea, like the stars, like the light from a lighthouse in the night." Benjamin reads the words slowly, then closes the journal. Outside, the moon begins drifting lower toward the horizon. The stars remain bright. The lighthouse beam continues turning across the sleeping ocean. Hour after hour. Steady. Faithful. Calm. And little by little, the first faint hint of dawn begins appearing beyond the sea. Not enough to brighten the world. Not yet. Only a gentle touch of silver along the horizon. The night is slowly preparing to rest. Benjamin leans comfortably into his chair. His eyes grow heavier. The fire glows softly beside him. The ocean whispers beyond the window. And the lighthouse continues shining through the darkness. Everything feels exactly as it should. Safe. Peaceful. Still. The long winter night is not over yet. But morning is slowly making its way across the sea. And somewhere beyond the horizon, a new day quietly waits. The lighthouse watches. The harbor sleeps. And the peaceful journey continues. The final hours of the winter night drift quietly across the coast of Maine. Outside the lighthouse, the ocean remains calm beneath the fading stars. The harbor sleeps peacefully beneath fresh snow. Fishing boats rest silently against their moorings. And far beyond the horizon, the first gentle signs of morning slowly begin appearing. Inside the lighthouse cottage, everything feels wonderfully warm. The fire has burned low now. Soft orange embers glow quietly inside the stone fireplace. The kettle sits peacefully on the stove. And Benjamin remains beside the window, wrapped in a blanket, watching the sea, listening to the silence. The night has become incredibly still, almost dreamlike. Outside, the lighthouse beam continues its slow journey across the water. Steady, reliable, faithful. Benjamin has watched this same light for nearly 30 years. Through storms, through snowfall, through calm summer evenings and cold winter nights. And somehow, he never grows tired of it. Because every night feels different. Every sunrise feels new. Every quiet moment feels like a gift. Outside, the sky begins changing little by little. The darkness softens. The stars gradually fade. And a pale silver glow appears beyond the ocean horizon. Morning is coming. Slowly. Gently. Just as it always has. Benjamin stands and walks toward the lighthouse tower one final time before sunrise. The spiral staircase winds upward through the old stone structure. Step by step, he climbs higher. Past narrow windows touched with frost. Past old wooden beams. Higher. Toward the lantern room. When he finally reaches the top, the view is breathtaking. The Atlantic Ocean stretches endlessly beneath the awakening sky. Snow-covered cliffs glow softly in the early morning light. The harbor below looks peaceful, still wrapped in silence. The lighthouse beam continues turning through the fading darkness. Its work nearly finished for another night. Benjamin places a hand gently against the cool glass. then looks out across the sea. For a long time, he simply stands there, watching, breathing, listening. The ocean moves in its slow, endless rhythm below. Waves roll softly toward shore. The sky brightens a little more, and the world begins waking. Far below, a single fishing boat leaves the harbor. Its small lights glow warmly against the blue morning. The boat moves slowly toward the horizon. Benjamin watches until it becomes only a tiny shape upon the sea. Then even that disappears. The sunrise continues growing brighter. Soft shades of gold begin touching the clouds. The snow sparkles across rooftops and docks. The harbor glows with quiet beauty. Everything feels peaceful, fresh, new. Benjamin smiles softly. Another night has passed. Another peaceful journey has come to an end. He slowly descends the staircase once more. Back inside the cottage, the fire glows gently. The room remains warm and comfortable. Benjamin settles into his chair one last time. Outside, the lighthouse beam finally fades as daylight takes its place. The stars are gone now. Morning fills the sky. The ocean shines beneath golden light. And the sleepy harbor begins welcoming a new day. Benjamin closes his eyes for a moment. The warmth of the room surrounds him. The sound of distant waves drifts through the window. And everything feels calm. Exactly as it should. And now, my friend, perhaps you can feel that same peaceful calm too. The journey is complete. The lighthouse stands quietly beside the sea. The harbor rests beneath fresh snow. The ocean moves softly beyond the shore. And a beautiful new morning has arrived. There is nothing more you need to do tonight. Nothing more you need to think about. Nothing more you need to solve. The day is over. Your mind can rest now. Your body can relax completely. Feel your breathing becoming slower, softer, deeper. Feel the warmth around you. Feel the comfort of this quiet moment. The lighthouse continues watching over the sea. The waves continue their gentle rhythm. The snow-covered harbor remains peaceful beneath the morning sky. And you can simply rest, drifting gently toward peaceful dreams, toward comfort, toward stillness, toward deep and restful sleep. Good night, my friend. I'm Sanjiv. And I'll be here again very soon. For another quiet journey into dreams. Until then, sleep peacefully, sleep deeply, and sleep well. Good night.